Hello everyone. Uh, Today we're going to cover the rarity breakdown for the card game Marvel Hero Battle by Caillou. We have other videos that cover the gameplay, but this specific one covers the different rarities in the game because there's quite a number of them, and depending on which set, there's some differences, minor differences. Okay, so we're going to just go jump right into it. And then this is the R, which is actually the lowest rarity of the entire game. Uh, and even at the R level, there actually is a variant. It's slightly interesting because the game itself comes in two different product types: the deluxe booster packs and then the legendary booster packs. So for the deluxe booster packs, the R cards are actually non-void, and that's the only way you can get a non-void card actually, and only the R cards. Anything from SR onwards is a void, regardless of which booster packs they come from. Okay, so the void finishing for the R cards are smooth. It's a bit of a shine. It's nothing very fancy. Okay, all right. So that's the R cards. Okay, then we move on to the next level, and that is SR. Okay, so SR is a bit more interesting in the sense that the way it's treated in set 1 and set 2 is slightly different. Okay, so if you have a set 1 SR, you would expect that the finish would be exactly the same as the R. It's going to be a smooth, shiny finish. Okay, for but set 2 they did something special, and I believe maybe the camera might be able to pick this up. There's a there's some kind of pattern in the background. The interesting here is that it actually varies from card to card. Not all of them have that same pattern, and it seems to be radiating from different parts of the card. So some of them are centered around the character, but there are some that are centered on certain key features of the card. So like for example this Captain Marvel here, the pattern actually radiates from her hand, and I thought this is a really nice touch. And quite honestly, for something that is of a second lowest rarity, I wasn't expecting that. Uh, Most companies would have just applied a single foil finish across all their cards of the same rarity. It wasn't the case here, and it actually you can actually feel the texture, which is the interesting part. The character itself is a spot gloss and printed over the texture, so the character is smooth. But man, that texture on the background, this is really nice. I really like the way the SR treated. Okay, so and that is SR for set 2. Okay, and moving up from the SR, we have the SSR. Okay, so SSR onwards are considered premium cards, and you expect to get um, you won't get one in every pack, but if you buy a box, you should get a decent number of them. So it's the lowest rarity among all the premium cards. Okay, all right, and the SSR cards have a variant alternate art, and that is actually at the next rarity level, in this case called the SGR. I have no idea what the G actually stands for, but if you can take a look at these two cards, they are the exact same card. Okay, in terms of the game text, they are exactly the same. Serial number, they are exactly the same. Right, the only difference here is their rarity and the number of stars. Okay, so the SSR is 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 stars. The SGR is 10 stars. And you can see that the finishing at the back is entirely different. So this is some gold stem on it, and then this has some purple streaks, which is actually a bit shiny. Okay, it's some pattern if you look closely at it. Okay, and of course the in this case the art is entirely different. Okay, so the Star Lord actually has a mask on. for the SGR. Okay, let's take a look at the different set of SSR and versus SGR. So this one is also very evident. The background is different. In fact, Scarlet Witch has something going on in the foreground as well. But unlike the Star-Lord, this one has the same picture. Okay, so this is SSR and SGR. So functionally, because they are the same card in terms of deck construction and card restrictions, you cannot exceed the number of the cards combined together. So you cannot have 3 of this and 3 of this, for example. You can only have a maximum of 3 combined of these two cards. Okay, all right. So that's the SSR and the SGR. Okay, moving on the next level, we have the UR. Okay, and UR we can see here, right? So these are UR cards, and they are 11 stars. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 plus 1. So 11 stars. Okay, the interesting about UR is that also, like the SSR, they have alternate variants, but they are split into 2 different categories, right? So we'll cover the first one here. So this is what we call an LR. Okay, so bring it closer. You see that it's a very stylized finish, unlike the normal version, right? Okay, so how do you get the LR then? So the LR only comes for set 1. So for set 2, we will get to that later. Slightly different. For set 1, you can get the LR from the starter product. Okay, so in the starter product, it comes with 2 special booster packs, right? Within each special booster pack, you will get guaranteed 1 LR and 1 SGR. Okay, so from each starter pack, you will expect to get 2 LRs and 2 SGRs, which is actually a decent deal considering that the LR is the equivalent of a UR in a normal booster box, and each booster box will only yield you about 2 or 3 URs. Okay, so if you just need to fill your deck with those cards, the starter is something that you might want to consider buying, just because it guarantees the card. All right. I'm not biased to either one of the art styles. I personally think that they're both alright. If in terms of the style, if you have a whole bunch of the LRs, I think it would look quite nice. But if you have a mixture of them, it looks a bit weird. Okay, so I'm going to pull up my binder here, and you can take a look at the other ones I have. So these are other URs showing the quantum suit, right? So and the LR showing the same quantum suit, right? Yeah. So this is War Machine. So they all have a single stylized look. For the URs or the LRs. If you have a mixture of them, they look a bit weird next side by side. But if you have all of them in the same deck, and you probably should, because the quantum suits tend to key off each other, right? They have a certain synergy there. It would look quite nice if they all share sort of the same appearance or look, I guess. Okay, all right. So moving on, we mentioned that the URs have a different alternate version, and that is the MR. Okay, right. So these two are functionally the same card. If you look at the text and everything, it's the same thing. But the MR is a higher rarity, right? So it's a 12 star versus the 11 stars for the UR, right? Personally, at least for this Captain America, I actually prefer the UR version slightly better, just because of the pose and everything, and also because similar to the quantum suits, so there's a set of cards that share the same kind of look and feel, and I believe this comes off, I think, one of the movie posters. Yeah, so actually I actually prefer this a bit better, even though this is rarer, right? But you can see the Captain Marvel here. I don't actually have the normal UR version of the Captain Marvel for you to compare, But just looking at this is actually pretty nice. The foil finish and so on and so forth. This is quite quite nice. And that's probably what drew me to try and collect this game, because unlike most card games, they seem to actually put a bit of effort into getting the cards looking nice and stuff, I guess. Okay, all right. Anyway, so that's MR. Okay, going into set 2, they introduced a new rarity. And unlike the rest, okay, so we talked about the deluxe booster box just now and the legendary booster box. So the deluxe booster box, the maximum you can get is up till for set 1 SGR. Okay, and you can't go beyond that, right? And but if you buy the legendary booster box, you can at least guarantee one MR, like a 2 or 3 URs within the box. So you definitely get at least one of each rarity. The CRs don't follow this rule. You don't get one per box. In fact, if anything, I've been watching some unboxing videos and people are saying it's something closer to maybe 1 in every 10 boxes or so. So the CR is really very rare, but it's very nice. Okay, so it's got this laser holographic effect at the back. I'm gonna bring it closer to the camera. Right. Hopefully you can capture it in its full glory. You can see a Thanos in the front, and then at the back here there's another Thanos in the hologram. Okay, so this is a CR. I'm not sure how many there are, because I don't have a card list for set 2, but I believe there should be about maybe 6 of them or so. Okay, the set pretty much follows the same way of distribution, except the number of premium cards per box, at least at the legendary level, seems to have dropped slightly. Uh, in terms of the high level cards, you probably won't see that much of a difference. The only real difference is the number of SSRs that you get out of the box. I believe you get like maybe 4 lesser. I mean, considering that the SSR is probably the most common rare card, you probably don't actually lose out by a lot. Considering that now you also have a chance to get the CR, which is very nice. Okay, one other difference is that for the set 2, they don't actually have a starter product. So then if so, then the question becomes, how do you get the LR for set 2? Okay, so set 2, the LRs are actually released in the deluxe booster box. Okay, so there's a chance you can get the LR in the deluxe booster box. How often does it show up? I'm not very sure. But I do have a deluxe box on order. So hopefully when it comes in, I can do an unboxing and see how many show up in total. Okay, but that's basically in a nutshell what the rarity breakdown is like in this game, and the kind of shiny cards that you might be able to get. Okay, so thanks for watching, and if you're interested to learn how to play, do check out our gameplay video. Okay, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.